What's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? My name is Tyler. Welcome to the eveRide channel, and we're going to cut right to it. I have totally stripped down my KLR 650, and we are going to rebuild this thing. This is the beginning of my own little KLR build series, and we've got some super awesome stuff to put on it already. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Selfless, not selfless, it's absolutely unselfless. It's selfish. It's shameless. It's what I would like to do with this bike is if you know somebody, or if you own a company or work for a company that makes parts for Generation 1 KLR 650s, and you'd like to feature those parts on a channel with a little over 40,000 subscribers, average video gets about 10,000 views. If you would like to feature your part on this channel, please let me know. And I'd love to put it on the bike, and any other extensive reviews or anything like that, we could talk about it. But I'd love to feature your items on the bike. I go over every feature that I put on it thoroughly. Anyway, enough of the shameless plug. Let's go over what I'm doing to this motorcycle. First of all, I'm going to take all of the California laws off of it. I know it's not on every bike, but this bike does have it. It's got this thing. It's got all kinds of cables and stuff, all running through, waiting to fail, so I'm going to take all that off. As you can see, I've stripped everything off, and I've actually cleaned it up pretty good. It's kind of funny how much you start to love a motorcycle once you rip it apart and see the potential that's there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace the big, bulky, heavy rear plastics, this one right here. I'm actually going to replace that. You might laugh at me for this, but I'm going to cut this down and replace it with an old DRZ fender that I've got. It'll fit just like that. It'll kind of look like a little bit straighter of a fender, not so much weight, and I think it'll look pretty cool, pretty custom, and it shouldn't be a whole lot of work. And it should be noted that, you guys, this is me, so whatever's happening to this KLR 650 is not going to be done by, you know, a professional customizer guy that works in a really fancy garage. As you can tell, I'm pretty bare bones here, but I do want to show that if I can do it, anybody can do it, and some of the mods on this bike are going to be really budget friendly, but I want it to look totally custom like no other KLR has really looked before. I wanted to show this off. So it's been 5 years since I painted my KLR 650 with truck bed liner and with Krylon Fusion. And 5 years of abuse, you can see it's taken its toll. However, really not that bad. You can see where I've recovered it there. You can see obviously where it's been scraped and scratched, but over 5 years, this bike has taken a ton of abuse. I owned it when I didn't even know how to replace an air filter or oil a chain or change the oil or do anything. I mean, I abused this bike so much. And then I sold it to my brother-in-law, and it didn't get much better from there. He was just too busy for it. He left it out in the desert sun for a long time. It rotted. It got really terrible. Mr. Duff Actor got it from him, brought it back to life, really went through every seal and every detail, made it you know, roadworthy again, and now I'm going to do some cosmetics with it. So currently the only options for a KLR 650 plastics are to either buy the OEM plastics, which are ridiculously expensive, or to spray can them and try your luck that way. So, you know, for just, you know, I didn't do all the priming and all that stuff. I did a couple of coats, and honestly, it wasn't bad. It worked out fine, so I will be spray canning these once again. Now, Krylon Fusion, I don't think they make it anymore, so I'm going to try, I think it's called Krylon Max, or maybe just truck bed liner on the whole thing. We'll see. Truck bed liner doesn't work too good on the plastics, as I'll show you right here. A lot of it came off. Obviously, these are high wear areas on the radiator shrouds, but I might just do truck bed liner on the whole thing and just try it out, have some fun with it. This will definitely have truck bed liner on it, but the tank has truck bed liner on it, and obviously with metal it's a whole different story. It's actually held on really well, only in places of, you know, where it's really been dinged, or places of significant wear, such as down here, or along where the radiator shrouds come. Realistically, it's held on quite nicely, and for a $6 can of truck bed liner, that was a cheap, you know, cosmetic fix to a Barbie bike. Over here, of course, we have the Seat Concepts Commuter seat. I've had this for a long time. It's been on the KLR for a long time. I took this on actually a Gen 2 KLR, and took it 5,000 miles along the West Coast, and this was an amazing seat. Very, very highly recommended. Seat Concepts are the guys to go to. It's about half the price of other seats. I'm completely removing the dash. As you can see, the speedometer needle is broken because my KLR is just that fast. So it will be kind of irritating not to have a neutral light. I might rig something up to that so that I can get one. You know, speed is kind of like time. It's only relevant when it's measured. And if you're enjoying the scenery, then it shouldn't really matter. Here we have Scott oiler, chain oiler. This is actually for a Tiger 800. My friend sent this to me. I'm going to try to put it on. We're going to be getting rid of these old big blinkers, replacing everything with low draw LED. I'm going to be selling this and probably auctioning off that one. That was kind of the butt of a joke, a little KLR joke. As for the front fender, I'll probably be cutting this down, customizing it quite a bit. The stopping power on my KLR was horrendous, pretty unsafe. And so, oh yeah, I've got this oversized floating brake rotor from Tusk. I will be installing that. That is probably, I don't know, 50% bigger? I don't know, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, that's huge. So that's gonna go on there and give me a lot more stopping power, which, you know, on dirt bikes, I don't really care that much about because, you know, you lock up and you're sliding through the dirt anyway. On a KLR where this is a little bit more road oriented, I do want me some stopping power. It's not an ABS bike, but I'd rather stop sooner than later. These, oh yeah. Outback Motor Tech has sent me some crash bars. These things are gonna look amazing. I can't review these yet. I've watched the manufacturing process on their YouTube channel, and honestly, these guys aren't messing around. Very, very high quality products. I mean, you can just tell by the welds that it's really good stuff. They've also sent me a skid plate here, and just look at the thickness of this thing. Now, this isn't all that heavy, and yet it is really beefy. The thickness is immense. Just really nice kind of stamping there. I mean, these guys put a lot of quality and a lot of hard work into their hard parts, and it shows. I mean, the welds are just perfect. I'm pretty sold on that stuff. Just seeing how it's made, that's gonna be really nice stuff. As for the front headlights, you can see that I've totally ripped everything off. No longer is there that little bulb here that protects all the wires. That might come back, I'm not sure. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna fabricate a bracket that comes off of here. How I'm gonna do that, I'm not 100% sure yet. However, I will be fabricating a bracket that somehow comes up here and can support the weight of a pretty substantial light. Now, what I'm choosing as those lights, I've got two of these that were on there before. You might remember those. Now, these are only like 12 bucks on Amazon. And I don't like spoiling this. This is kind of a spoiler, but I'm not gonna show it to you on the bike, but I'll just give you a little peek. Maybe show you like half of it. There you go. Anyway, I'm excited to put that on. It'll give my bike a totally new face. You'll probably be saying, what are you going to do for wind protection and all that? I'll figure something out, don't worry. Got some plans in the works. I will either be repainting the fork boots or getting new fork boots. I'll probably just repaint them. Just rubberized, like undercoating, worked well last time. I mean, well, it didn't work too well last time because it's purple again. I am looking for a manufacturer who makes a really good fork brace down here because I'd like to put a fender down here and then shorten the fender up here and kind of give it a more custom look. So once again, going back to the beginning of the video, that shameless plug, if you own a company or know a company, that would be awesome. If somebody wants to have a fork brace featured, I would love to put one right there. If I can't get a hold of one, then, well, I probably just won't use one. But if you'd like to feature a product, that's something that I'm looking for and would like to promote. So anyway, shameless. I will be repainting this with high heat paint, and I will be also repainting the cover here as well. I've already got the Tusk foot pegs on there. You guys, these are such a better footprint than the stock pegs. The rubber on the stock pegs gets a little bit, when it gets wet, it gets a little bit slippery. These things have a wider footprint, and so it's more comfortable when you're standing up. and riding longer ranges. I have larger foot pegs on all my bikes, and these exact Tusk foot pegs on two of them, on this one and on the Blue Angel WR290F. That's a really good investment, and they cost far less than other foot pegs. Let's go over here. Speaking of Rocky Mountain ATV MC, yeah. So a while ago, my friend discovered that Tusk was selling adventure panniers for about a quarter of the price as other companies were. I thought, well, that sounds like a really good deal if they hold up. Well, that was about 3 years ago. He said that they've held up really, really well. I've got me a pair here. These look fantastic. The quality is there. I can't wait to review them. My friend just got some on his KTM 1190. You might know him as Goat Cabeza, and he loves them as well. He says the racks are also really sturdy, and there's features on them that make them really, really nice, such as, you know, a quick release cable. Extremely nice for the money. Lexx Exhaust. I've got it on the WR290R. Absolutely love it. Love the sound of it. It's not too loud, but when you wrap it out, you can definitely hear it. But it's not quite as loud as the FMF on my DRZ, which is a really, really good thing. Now, on a KLR 650, the stock, you either kind of get the chirp, which I solved in an old video of mine in a rather comical way, or it seems like you have to get an exhaust that's really, really loud. And honestly, the KLR bike for me is less of a dirt bike and more of a cruising on the highway, going on adventures, touring bike. And I do not want a loud exhaust. The Lexx Exhaust is the perfect medium between throaty sound and quietness. I mean, it's not loud, it's not annoying. I don't want to put earplugs in every time I ride. That is an excellent solution, and I love how it sounds, and I love what it's done for the WR290F. Down here we've got some Tusk Chub bars. This is the YZ bend. They'll go on nicely. They're a slightly narrower, but they do get rid of this crossbar here. They are a fat bar down in here, which gives them a little extra strength. The bend is quite similar, actually. The handlebars will be in about the same spot. So I've got this same bar on the WR250F. The Chub bar and the Lexx Exhaust and the panniers all have really, really excellent ratings. And, you know, I also do my own research and find out what people think of this stuff on the forums and whatnot. The Lexx Exhaust, even the most gnarly of critics have said that's a pretty awesome exhaust, particularly on the KLR. Same with the panniers, same with the Chub bars. Realistically, I'm super excited to put all this stuff on the bike. And for the final thing that's going on there, this doesn't look like much, but this thing is like the Comfort-O-Matic 9000. This is actually a rear rack from KLR Dash. They don't just make risers for KLR 650 Gen 2s, they also make the rear rack, and then this is a backrest. The way that it works is it sits on top of the stock rack here. It's actually adjustable, so you can move it forward or backward. And there are two bars that come out here, hold this backrest, and honestly, it's a really nice back support. Man, when I was riding Lonnie's KLR, he had a 685 kit and the KLR Dash with the risers and the backrest. And honestly, you guys, it was the most comfortable KLR I'd ever been on because there was very little wind. The 685 kit got it to 100 miles an hour with no problem, and then the backrest made it even more comfortable. So I'm really excited to have this. It'll make touring a lot easier, a lot better. And now that my son's been born, you can expect some longer range tours. So you guys, that is what I'm doing with the KLR 650 right now. If you want to see how this build progresses, if you want to see the trips that I take on this thing long term, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm excited to make the KLR into something that nobody else has. You know, as you can see, it's a really great framework of a motorcycle. I mean, I've been looking at custom KLRs for a long time, and you can put on smaller tanks and make it like a bobber. You can lower things, you can get rid of the rear rack and a lot of the subframe. You can, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to this bike. Obviously, I'm going to change this into kind of the ultimate adventure tourer. And one more shameless plug, if your company makes a big bore kit for the KLR, I've got a guy in town who can do all the headwork and stuff for not very expensive. And so if you make a big bore kit and you'd like to see it featured on a pretty prominent KLR, I'd love to have it. Let me know. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the build, and give me any suggestions that you want, or maybe submit pictures of your own custom KLR on my Facebook page. It's eveRide.org/Facebook. Thank you so much, you guys. Much love. eveRide out.